Okay, what a great looking home. Now, we're on a pretty wide block of land here. You can see the ample space on one side and there's also space on the other, like on the blind side of the property, enough for a walking track at least. So yeah, nice and nice and different to what you get in a lot of these areas where it can be a bit tight. Now, I think I'll criticize this at every property, but I'll say it quickly now. This place needs a footpath. I know this house has been here for a long time, but it can cause problems with water going into the property and softening up the ground. We don't have problems with bricks cracking, so there's less signs of movement in a property like this um, because obviously timber doesn't crack, or it shouldn't. I have seen it break, but not crack. So in this case, it doesn't mean there isn't movement in the property. It's just harder to spot. And if they've recently painted and covered up cracks, it's very hard to spot. But these window frames are original. They've been looked after. But they're not in excellent condition. Paint's just bubbling a bit there. So they need a little bit of a sand, I think, and a bit of a restore to keep them looking good. Because I mean, I would hate to think how much that would cost to replace timber windows like that. Let's start off with the exterior. Now they've redone parts of the roof, so there's a new capping at the top there. I flew the drone over, and that's really good just to kind of keep the roof together. All the sheets, these are little square sheets they put up, so that's recently been changed. A little bit of sunlight in my eyes, but there's a little bit of a rotten beam there. Yeah, but it's not the end of the world. Downpipes are connected, which is good. Now, there is a decent slant in this block of land. So I'm guessing, I can check this, but I'm guessing it's probably about 1.5 meters, 2 meters. So the front of the boundary, or the front of the land, is higher and it goes downwards. Now, when you get land like this, the key to buying is making sure that you're not buying at the bottom of the hill, because if there's serious rain, your house can be seriously flooded. All right, so they're showing off here. This is awesome. This is really good. So we can see concrete stumps throughout. This house definitely wouldn't have been built with concrete stumps. Oops, my camera's not sticking to me. So this has been replaced, which leads me to think that the interior of the home is going to be in good condition as well. This is awesome for storage as well. There's a lot you can do here. Gas ducted heating. If you ever get a building and pest inspection on this property, this will fail because of all this stuff here. It's all a hazard, fire hazard, I guess. All right, that's pretty good. Now, let's keep going around the house. So the roots have kind of made this floor, the bricks kind of move a bit, creating a little bit of a unstable ground. Okay, and this is where the garage is. Okay, it's an interesting setup. So rear laneway. Let's have a quick look at the rear laneway. I can't see what's going on there, so I'll have to watch the video later. All right, and here's the actual car storage. So a little bit of a tricky one to get in there, I guess, to hook in and hook out again. Got to practice the reversing skills. Now, trees. Trees are always a problem with properties. They look beautiful, but they cause issues with gutters. You can see that even though that gutter isn't really exposed because it's covered by the pergola, it's still got a lot of stuff in it. See that stuff hanging out? And these trees aren't evergreen, so they're going to lose leaves. So for this to be a roof operating successfully in the sense of draining water like it should, and the gutters not being blocked, you have to clean them every year, fortunately, which is a terrible job. I hate doing it. Okay, so this is, I'm guessing, some sort of air conditioning compressor, spa bath pump, and hot water service. Quite a fancy looking unit. Looks brand new, looks quite new. Windows are good back here. Okay. So pretty good on the outside. Pretty good. Decking feels okay. You can you kind of put a bit of weight on it. You can feel any kind of broken or worn and torn timbers, but it feels pretty good. A lot of nails in it.
No, the lady didn't take all the furniture.
They take all the furniture,
Yes.
just leaving the bag.
Yes. Yeah. So if you come with bacon,
Okay, so here's the movement. Cracks. They've definitely patched up once upon a time, and it's just come back. And that's pretty typical for a house that has no concrete paths around it. Okay, we've got exceptional ceiling heights now. It's probably 3.5, I'm guessing. 3.5 meters. And timber floors underneath. I don't feel a slant walking over to this corner to where the weight is on the corners of the room, which is good. And that's because they've got a pretty good substructure supporting the house. I mean, this damage that you see on the cracks might have happened when it was still on timber. And the reason why you see concrete stumps is because there would have been a problem that caused them to change it to concrete. So that was probably the issue. Another crack there as well. So the best bet is if you do buy this property, it's just really a monitor thing and see how it goes over the years. But considering a lot of the work has been done already with the concrete stumps, you just have to kind of add to the concrete little things to kind of straighten the floors every now and then. Split system heating and cooling, air ventilation as well. All right, so a really very nice looking living room. We've got the plaster feature, original lights, a blocked up fireplace, bay window, beautiful doors as well. I actually like the old timber look. I know people paint them white, that looks good as well, but once you kind of paint these a different color, like a white, you can never restore them. It's finished. So good to see that some people have kept the actual original timber. All right, the cornices are pretty standard for a house of this age in this style. Normally they put in a really big kind of fancy cornices, and these are just kind of got ordinary ones. But they do have the big plaster feature, which probably is intentional to make that kind of stand out, I guess, on the building. Wow, this door is beautiful. Look at that. Very nice. I wonder if kids have broken that over the years and then not put stained glass in again. Anyway, so I think this floor is like a Baltic pine floor. Okay, no, they haven't because it's a matching door there. So Baltic pine, it's pretty typical for the era that it was built in. They've renovated the kitchen, it looks like in the 1980s. The appliances definitely look 1980s. I would think this needs new appliances straight out. Laminate kitchen. So this is like an entry-level finish. They haven't actually put the plaster on top either to join the cabinets to the ceiling. It's a bit of a shortcut. Okay, just checking for any rot. No, looks good to me. So the silicon's a bit on the weak side, isn't it? And that's critical to these benches because once the kind of water seeps into here, you're in big trouble. I wonder if this is a timber top, but just with a stuck-on laminate. I wonder, because they've got this timber edging here. So anyway, okay, laundry. Wasn't expecting that one. Lucky I checked. Okay, so ducted heating, we can see there. The vents. Let's have a quick look under the pergola. These townhouses are a little bit of an issue with privacy. They do have privacy windows in, I'm guessing that's a bedroom, but then you've got these full-size windows there. which isn't ideal. Oh, yes, they've put block out. Okay, they've blocked out the that's not window coverings. It's actual stain, like a sticker on a glass panel. Okay, good ceiling heights. This part of the house looks like something's changed in here. So a different plaster setup to this one. But the ceiling heights are the same, which is good to see. I think they're slightly higher in the living, in the living room rather than the meals and dining area. Okay. Right, these doors have seen better days. Door handles. Oh man, that's a very flimsy door. Oh, okay, this is a small room. It really is a study. I wouldn't count this as a bedroom. Because once you kind of put a bed in here, there's no built-in robe. There's very little room to maneuver. Okay, that's the return air for the ducted bathroom. Nice little colours in here. I like the turquoisey tile. A good size shower, which is good. I hate it when they're really small. So yeah, this is definitely a good size. Geez, you can see the packing. So they use this to divide the tiles and keep them square. Okay, and you've got grout here. So this shower needs to be regrouted. And the reason why it needs to be regrouted is because if it's not waterproofed properly, water leaks under the floor, and the floor is made of timber. So water and timber are never friends. Okay, modern bath. It's been put in here, I would say, in the 90s. Once again, another beautiful window. Very nice. A good sized room. We've got a pretty decent structural crack, but like I mentioned earlier, that could be being resolved from stump works. Very good sized room. Floors creak a little bit underfoot. A little bit. This door's hammered as well. Doesn't look it, but it just feels it when you're operating it. Okay, so we've got another decent crack here as well. So cracks are bad when you can stick your finger in one. that's when your house is in serious trouble. The cracks around here aren't terrible. It leads me to believe that they've happened at different times because we've had cracks repaired in one room and not the other. So I think that's got a lot to do with it being a consistent problem. And I almost can guarantee you it's because the water's being managed poorly around the property under rain and also the hill. So you'd have to kind of manage how that water comes down from the front garden and travels through the property, basically, is what's happening. So if you can kind of divert it somehow with eggy pipes and things like that and concrete, is the way. Once again, a beautiful room, like a lot of potential here to really spend some money on this place and really bring it up to scratch. No cornices. They've got square, like a modern square set cornice. I haven't seen this type of cornice in a property of this age. I'm kind of guessing this house is about 100 years old, maybe more. Probably very similar to the owners, I'm guessing. All right. Pretty thin glass. It's not super thick. There's not much road noise. I'm really surprised. I mean, I haven't really heard cars belting down here. It is a low speed road. It's a lovely chair, isn't it? Check out I just noticed the skirting boards in this place are really nice. Got another crack here. So that's a serious skirting board when it comes to size. Okay, that's just silicone on top, I think. So let's just finish on that. So yeah, I think the doors need to be replaced in this property just because they're very thin, they're worn and torn. And what I mean by doors is kind of these doors, bedroom doors. These don't match. Like you don't kind of spend so much money in a house and not have kind of a good theme going through it. I love it when everything's been renovated at one time, not different eras. So in this case, we've still got some skirting boards, but they're a different style. Timber, very high quality. They don't make them like that anymore, as they say. And I'm guessing that Baltic pine floor follows through to the rest of the house as well. So if you did pull out the carpet and sand it, it's a very inexpensive kind of renovation. Lovely. So I must have had an upgrade on the electrical board as well, because we've got the split system. Let me check this door. Okay. Thank you for that. Okay, I was quite skeptical looking at the street view to think that this property is on a very busy main road, but it's actually not too bad. It's pretty quiet, and it's two-way traffic, so it's not like double lane on each side. So I don't think it's that bad. Beautiful chimneys. I didn't mention the chimneys. They're fantastic looking chimneys, aren't they? Yeah, this house has a lot of potential for the right buyer that wants to kind of put some money into it and bring it to its kind of former glory, I think. There's a lot going on there with different areas of renovation. They use different types of materials here and there. And there's just a few things that need to be fixed and maintained as well. I'm guessing an elderly person has lived here or living here. And they just kind of don't care about having a super modern property. Or, where things match. A lot of the times, if things just need to be fixed, they'll just do what needs to be done. Actually, do something in such a way to make it match the rest of the property, or add kind of value. Yeah, the house is kind of buried in these trees, isn't it? And it's weathered very well, considering how big the trees are. So the reason why I'm standing out here now is just kind of gauging the hill and how bad this hill is in the sense of water, and trying to think of why we've had so much movement in the property. And I'm sure it's purely coming from the front garden. It's not off the road. There is the hill kind of goes straight down. So you're not going to get piles of water sitting here, which is, I'll never buy property that would have that issue. Yeah, so that's that. Great pitch on the roof. That is a very, very high pitch roof. So what I mean by pitch, it's actually a very large roof. So energy efficient. Houses don't have roofs that big anymore. So what that means is in summer, it's cooler in the house, which is really good. I'll give you an example of the modern roof. Okay, here we go. Right behind me. Look at the size of that roof. It's tiny. And then you have to have air conditioning in a house, whereas a house like this manages it really well. You've got a really nice kind of area to kind of porch kind of area under the property as well. That will help with the heat kind of reflecting it off rather than belting down on the sides of the property. Yeah, good property, like it.